Did you see that the Dollar Tree has cross-stitch kits? I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle, and as soon as I saw these in somebody's haul, I wanted to track some down and check them out because it sounded too good to be true, and my expectations were extremely low. So are you as curious as I was? This first one I'm going to talk about is the monogram kit, and I thought that I bought an M. It's a W. It doesn't matter. I probably was not going to stitch it as a monogram anyway. I was going to use this little plastic frame for some pixel art or something. So to be aware of with these, there are two kits. One has the letters A through L. The other one has the letters M through Z. And each kit gives you the chart for half the alphabet. There are very vague instructions. You get this on the back of the package, and the numbered pictures and the numbered steps in the instructions do not match at all. I can't imagine someone who didn't have an idea how to cross stitch actually relying on these and following them. I also think cross stitch is pretty intuitive and that someone would be able to figure it out. What I was curious about with this one was this little hoop. It's a plastic. I have seen these with a black border and a pink border, and I thought, you know, I might stitch some little pixely thing on there for a Christmas ornament. I was curious. The floss looks like, it is a 6-strand, looks like cotton, looks very similar to the inexpensive off-brand cotton that I have found in so many other kits. I do not know what is going on with this needle. It's plastic. It's not a needle. I suppose you could stitch with it, but I don't understand why they wouldn't give you a metal needle. Overall with this one, I am intrigued by the little plastic hoop. If I wanted to stitch a letter, I would probably be more excited about it. The one that I am surprisingly excited about is this one. Now, these are Label Crafters Square, so these are dollar store kits. They were made for the Dollar Tree. Unlike some other products which were made for other companies and then kind of clearanced their way to the Dollar Tree. And I went into this with very low expectations because for $1, what can you realistically expect with a product that was meant to cost $1? I am all about the cheap discount cross-stitch kits. It comes with a square of Aida. This is the stiffest Aida I have ever encountered. It is, I mean, it might as well be perforated paper. But that's okay, it's $1. I mean, it's Aida. It is what it is. There is not a real instruction sheet. Instead, they give you some very super brief instructions, and apparently this here on the back, you are supposed to go from the picture and count from there. I don't know why it looks like that would be harder. I don't think these kits... I have seen earlier kits from the Dollar Tree that seem to be made and marketed towards children. I'm not quite sure who the target audience of these are, and maybe it's just that I don't love the designs. My store had a bunch of them, and I'll insert them here so you can see what they had to offer. The kits that they had in the store are all very modern, contemporary designs, and my taste runs a little more traditional, so these weren't up my alley necessarily. It gives you a real needle. I kind of opened this stuff up and put it back together before I started filming. So it is a metal needle. It is a tapestry needle like you would expect to cross stitch with. There's a twist of floss, 4 colors, all distinctly different from one another. You can absolutely separate these yourself. This floss gave me pause. It is 6-stranded. The pieces that I separated are kind of thick and thin, not the consistency that I have seen in any other kit I've ever used. They don't appear to be mercerized. And I was really not feeling at all optimistic about this floss, and I decided to pull a scrap of Aida from my stash and stitch a little swatch. It stitches so much better than I thought it would. I had to eat my words here. This is not bad to stitch with, based on the 20 stitches I put in here on this little scrap of fabric. I realized that is next to nothing, but the coverage is good. It didn't tangle. I really thought it was going to break. So my first impression is it's not quality floss. It's not quality fabric. I picture not a chart, but for $1, it's not bad. If I really liked one of these designs, I'd buy one for myself and I'd stitch it. These aren't my style. I have some adult people in my life who want to learn to cross stitch, and I will buy them better kits with more standard instructions. I just haven't been able to get together with them yet. I wouldn't hand this over to a really young child unless I was just giving them some floss and a piece of fabric to play with. I wouldn't expect them to be able to work from the photograph. I don't know who the target audience of these are for. They're not quite young kids, and I don't know. I've got mixed feelings. For $1, they're not bad. They're actually surprised me that you could do any kind of cross stitch kit for $1, let alone something that's actually sort of mostly functional. And like I said, I think I'm biased because I don't love the subject matter of these. Let me know if you've tried one of these and if you've liked it. And have you been using anything from Crafters Square at the Dollar Tree? How's it working out for you? I've knit socks and I've been very happy with their yarn. If I wanted to stitch a butterfly, I'd be happy with this. I'm Michelle, this is My Romantic Tangle, and I'll be back with you again soon.